Well, hello, Leo, and welcome to Mystic Door Tarot. This is Barb with your weekly tarot reading for the energy around June 29th through July 5th, 2026. This is a new schedule, everyone. The readings are posting much earlier, and it's for the following week. So check the community posts for any updates and new information, and that's where the daily inspiration posts where they're at as well. And please be sure to subscribe, like, and hype to help support the channel. I truly, truly appreciate it. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at what the cards are revealing. All right. Let's check in and see for June 29th through July 5th, what is the crystal? Crystal for Leo. We have calcite for calmness, and it concerns all your chakras. You know, the calcite crystal comes in many different colors. That kind of does different things. So you can always go online and research what each particular color represents. But the clear calcite for calmness in regards to all your chakras. So, all right, Leo, let's see what the oracle message is for you for this week. Again, just a reminder, this is a new schedule, so it might throw some of you off, but the readings will be there way before the week hits. So, all right, message for Leo, please. Beautiful uncaging. Love that. Now, Leo, this is primarily something that we can do to ourselves. I'm a Leo as well, where we can just beat ourselves up over how something didn't work out how it was intended, how we wanted it to be. There can be some kind of just an energy of, constantly we can do better. We have the bar pretty high. So this beautiful uncaging is releasing you from, you're allowed to take it easy and, not be there 100% of the time. It's about really being honest with yourself this week. Especially in regards to if you're self-blaming, that can lead to low self-worth where we don't stay there. We don't stay in that, down there very long. But this is, coming out of those kind of really high expectations. And if we don't meet those high expectations 100% of the time, we usually beat ourselves up. So with this beautiful uncaging, it's just a need of, it's in regards to just taking like a self-inventory and paying attention, uncaging yourself from a prison of your own making. And sometimes we can be our own worst enemy with how our expectations are. So, and with the clear calcite crystal here, it's wanting you to be very calm, centered, and balanced this week. So it should be interesting what the cards reveal. Let's take a look at money from the Money Oracle. It's like, take a breather is what my guides are saying. Take a breather. How about the money? What message in regards to money? They're all like backing up. What is that? Yeah. All right, Leo. Ooh, look at this. Success. Choosing the right direction and actively overcoming difficulties. You're on the right track. Yeah, just stop beating yourself up over something that maybe you feel you didn't do right, or something that you might have felt was like a failure. It's a lesson learned is what it is. So, but success coming in. choosing the right direction. This beautiful uncaging is really just releasing yourself from such high expectations. Just kind of roll with it, go with the flow. And that's why the calcite crystal will help you out this week, Leo, in regards to that, keeping you calm and centered and balanced. Messages and guidance for a Leo, please. What's coming through for Leo? What do we got for Leo? We have the King of Swords. Well, that is realization of the truth at hand, being logical and practical. Really interesting look on this individual's face. It's maybe the realization of why you got the beautiful uncaging, that maybe something didn't work out the way that you wanted it to, and you're kind of beating yourself up over it. But look at all the birds in the background, and he's got one perched right there. So spend some more time in alone with your thoughts, listening to your favorite music, or just kind of meditate a little bit and see what comes through. There's messages waiting. They're kind of almost like backed up. So just ask your angels and guides, what do I need to know to move forward? You've got the success in regards to money coming in, and certainly the astrology is in our favor. So King of Swords coming out. That's looking at things from and like holding yourself accountable, but stop beating yourself up. All right, what else do we have for Leo? We have the Six of Wands. Now there's the success. This is a new path forward. This could be where you're a role model to others, inspiring others. You could be going into some type of leadership position this week, Leo. And that could be anything. That could be even heading up like if you play some kind of sport for fun, not for serious competition, but for fun. A group activity, and you might be the captain, so to speak. So the one that is inspiring and the driving force for the group. So the Six of Wands is an indication backing up the card of success here. It's your card, it's your energy here, Leo. So not to worry, keeping yourself calm and centered and balanced, and breaking free of those kind of rigid, maybe some negative self-talk, or the bar is just set so high that if you don't hit it, you just beat yourself up about it. But the 6 numerology here is now moving in the right direction. And that's what this card says. Choosing the right direction and actively overcoming difficulties, because you're on the right track now. What else do we have for Leo for the week? The Hierophant. Now, some of you are actually healers, teachers, maybe you have podcasts, you reach a lot of people, in some way, shape, or form. Now, in general, the Hierophant can represent someone who is maybe a mentor to you. It can be a spiritual leader, a priest. It could be your go-to person. But what I'm picking up is that you're starting to realize that this go-to person that you have might not resonate the same anymore. It just doesn't coincide with your beliefs. So this can be somebody that you always put your faith in, and maybe that now it's kind of wavering. So, and that could be part of the King of Swords here, where you see this truth coming through to someone that you put your faith in, and again, this could be someone you go to for advice, or someone that you follow. That can be, you're starting to see the cracks is what they're telling me. So the Hierophant is a 5 energy. It can be very difficult, but there's a realization here, you know, and you're overcoming some difficulties. 5 can be a very difficult and challenging energy, and you're actively overcoming difficulties. And you can see that here with the 6 of Wands. You're on your way to success. Let's see what else is coming through for Leo. We have the Empress coming in. She is going to create the environment for this success where you'll be inspired. You'll be, creative with how you inspire others, trying new things. The Empress kind of sets the environment for this inspiration. And also, she is abundance coming in. Success and abundance. You're on the right track. This is kind of like being in the right place at the right time, Leo. So I love the Empress coming in. She's a major arcana card, and so is the Hierophant, which can be, the change that you're making is what's going to bring about the success. Let's see what else we have. We have the 9 of Wands. This kind of really ties into the beautiful uncaging here, because those wands in the background is all your experience, all the lessons learned. You're kind of reflecting on this, and that might be why the calcite crystal was suggested for you to kind of just get yourself calm and centered, balanced, recharge your batteries. The 9 energy is one of introspection. I do feel that if you spend some time and ask your guides, what messages do you have for me? There will be many things, just kind of downloading and coming in. So this is taking that moment, that realization, of what you truly want. All right. What else do we have coming through for Leo for the week? We have the 6 of Swords. This is moving on to better shores. This is kind of like pairing up with the 6 of Wands, where you're headed off to something new. And if you think about it, the 9 of Wands is only one away from the 10 of Wands, which is completion. There's something that's wrapping up. And it certainly could be in regards to a realization where you're being very logical and practical this week, tied in with the beautiful uncaging, where you're forgiving yourself for being so hard on yourself, beating yourself up. You're just kind of like drawing a line in the sand and saying no more. So the 6 of Swords, another 6 here, pairing up, with this 6 of Wands. This is moving now in a better direction, a more tranquil, calmer energy. So again, that's why you have the calcite crystal coming in. What else do we have for Leo this week? We have the Queen of Swords coming in. Now, I just love the King and Queen of Swords in this deck. They are like not happy. They're not happy with this mental clarity is bringing everything to light, trying to decide what you need to do, Leo, this week to move forward. The cards are indicating you've got success written all over these cards, but you're going to be letting go. Something's run its course. It could be the work that you do, the company you work for. It could be a relationship you're in. There's just this mental clarity coming in this week. And so now the Queen of Swords, there's a realization possibly with your go-to person, the Hierophant, a mentor. Maybe you're moving on. It's not, you've outgrown them. I was going to say that's what came bursting through. You've outgrown them. And so now it's where the student is wiser than the teacher, you might say, that kind of energy. So there is something that's wrapping up kind of, it's run its course. There's a completion of some kind. And again, like I said, it could be in the work that you do. It can be a relationship around you. But you're moving on. You can see this with the Six of Wands and the Six of Swords. This is making up your mind. This is taking action. What else do we have for Leo? The Eight of Swords. Now, this is exactly what this is all about. The beautiful uncaging is Eight of Swords is thinking that you have no options, that you're stuck, that you can't see your way through. You are not trapped. You do have options. This is a card of illusion. So this is a mindset that you're eliminating. It's run its course. It's over. It's done with. We've got this beautiful uncaging. You see the key in the lock there. You're doing away with this kind of thinking with the Eight of Swords. You know, you can see she's got the woe is me, that she's trapped. And she's not. Now this one, she's just not seeing clearly. But what you have here, Leo, is the Queen and the King of Swords. So that is getting that mental clarity. That is seeing things or people for who they are. Possibly your go-to person. You've outgrown them. You're moving on to bigger and better things. So, bottom of the deck, the overall energy, the Two of Cups. So, can be a relationship or some kind of partnership or union. Two of Cups can be relationships, but it can also be your relationship with yourself, where you're really like beating yourself up all the time, with the high expectations. So Two of Cups for the overall energy, an indication that possibly something has run its course. You've got some great cards of success, abundance. You've got this mental clarity coming in this week for you to be able to move forward and see things very clearly, see things and people for who they truly are. All right, and I pulled out the door deck. Let's see what door you have. What's coming through? Which door for Leo? Okay, wow, we have a very heavy door, but it is open a crack. What does it say? A cure for longing. Love is happiness, a spark inside. Live deliberately and choose boldly. Then you have arrived. All right, this is pertaining to this lovely Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. All right, Leo. That's the messages for the week. Thank you so much for joining me. Sending you love and abundance to have a great week.